What's going on, everyone? Kevin Gallagher here, and currently I am sitting at a gas station and I'm about to make my way to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. See, a buddy of mine, Dylan Albright, thank you very much for the idea, had said that since I get to travel so much and go all over the place, all over the region, and sometimes all over the country for work, that I should film some of this and share it with you. So here it is, my trip to Harrisburg from South Jersey. Now, one thing I want to point out before we even get started on the road, it all starts with proper planning. So first thing you do is you got to get gas and you got to get snack. Last night I went out to this ridiculously large dinner for my anniversary with my wife. And so today for the car ride, all I've got is coffee and water.
Daddy's home. That looks like you were hiding in the back room, you bad girl.
But normally I would have all kinds of snacks and all kinds of stuff in the car with me, but today, that's it, just coffee and water. And one of the funniest parts of my day has already started. I was on my way, I went to get my coffee, and there's a woman who prepares my coffee 5 out of 7 days a week. Yesterday when I went to pick up my coffee, my son came with me and she gave him a cookie. So this morning she said, "Did you eat the cookie yet?" And I said no, because my wife and I are trying to watch our calories. And she said, "Life is short, eat the cookie." There's some sage-like wisdom in there somewhere. Haven't unpacked it yet, but life is short, eat the cookie. The next thing you're gonna need for your journey of a 2-hour drive, because most of my driving is somewhere between an hour and 2 hours a direction. So the next thing that you're going to need to have is some type of a plan for entertainment. So I make a ton of phone calls while I'm driving. I highly recommend you do that, especially if you're in sales and marketing. Get all of your phone calls out of the way. Make a ton of phone calls from the car, set up appointments, do all of that, and your phone does it all for you. You make the phone calls, you use your voice. When somebody says, "Okay, Thursday at 3 o'clock, you tell your phone to set a calendar appointment for Thursday at 3 o'clock. Use this time. Don't just be in the car. Use the time. So, set up phone calls and set up entertainment. Now, the two types of entertainment I go with are podcasts and music, obviously, because I can drive and just listen. So let's talk about 2 podcasts that I listen to almost all the time. Number 1, Learn French by Podcast. There's a ton of podcasts out there that will, for free, teach you another language. The second podcast I listen to, and I know this is like the basic bitch of podcasting, but the second podcast I listen to is Joe Rogan. I like the Joe Rogan Experience. I'm gonna keep listening to the Joe Rogan Experience. What I like about the Joe Rogan podcast is it's not one-sided. Even though his politics are typically left, he himself is kind of a conundrum politically for the things that he's for and against and everything else. It's hilarious. So it's a nice mix of comedians, MMA, political, and I almost forgot. I said 2 podcasts I listen to. There's actually 3 podcasts I listen to. The third one is called Veterans with Benefits. Even though I never served in the military, I've always been extremely fascinated with the military life and what it entails. And so I highly recommend the show. The 2 hosts are stinking hilarious. The guests they have on and the stuff they talk about, I highly suggest you give them a shot. If you've never been to the heartland of Pennsylvania, then you're really missing out. Pennsylvania has some absolutely beautiful scenery to just look around at. This is the one of the Amish capitals of America here, where I'm at. I am 30 minutes outside of Harrisburg, not too far from like the Lancaster area, because I've been seeing some signs. Lancaster, not Lancaster. Lancaster. It is just beautiful, and all I can imagine, I'm a city guy, I like being around people, I get energy from people, I love that, but just imagine having something like this as your backyard. I just arrived and it's 11 o'clock and I have an hour until our lunch. So I'm probably gonna text him and tell him I'm here and see if he could come a little early. But I figured why not take this opportunity to talk about a thought that I had while I was driving? The thought that I had while I was driving was specifically about marketing and about what I do and all that kind of stuff. And I once had somebody tell me that lawyers are the reason for most of the problems in the world. I understood what they were saying because people will sue for the silliest things in the world. But modern day now, my feeling is that marketing is the problem for most of the things wrong in the world. And look, I'm in marketing. I love marketing. It's what I do. I absolutely love it. But let me explain why I feel that way. If you want to prove something, if you want to make something happen, all you need is really good marketing. If you watch, I had a video about how to become the United States president, marketing. How to make $1 million off of a fight if your name is Jake Paul, marketing. But if you watch a documentary, I don't know if you've ever seen it, it was out a few years ago called What the Health. It's on Netflix right now, so you can check it out. But in that documentary, the host points out that these organizations would do these case studies and these scientific studies, all pointing out whatever it is they want. The egg industry was suffering because the dairy farmers were trying to increase the amount of milk they were selling. So they were telling people, don't eat eggs because they're not healthy for your heart. Then you flash forward, the egg industry goes and puts a report together showing that eggs are not that bad. And when you go into the report, the comparison was against a McDonald's sausage McMuffin. Well, of course they're not that bad in comparison to a sausage McMuffin. Now, by the way, big fan of eggs and protein. This is not an attack on the egg industry. Marijuana. When I was in high school, I was told marijuana is horrible for you. It's a gateway drug. It puts holes in your brain. It does you only heard the negative. And kids for a while were afraid to smoke weed or have any kind of anything with marijuana. You were just terrified of it. Then the potheads went and got some really strong marketing behind them, and the marketing went from everything being negative and none of the positives to everything being positive with none of the negatives. And now we have legalized marijuana throughout the majority of the United States. Marketing can get done anything you want it to get done. This is just a food for thought. Now, that's not to say that all marketing is bad. I mean, I've even done a video on what I foresee is what I do in marketing. My job is to connect people to the things that they need and that they want. I'm doing a good work, but there are the times and the people who do marketing and it's for nefarious ways and it's just to control or get people to do what they want. Those are some of the most problematic things in our society right now. So I'm cracking up right now. Here I am in the state capital of PA. I'm in Harrisburg, and I've been to the center of Harrisburg. It's actually a really cool city. Where I'm at is on the outside of Harrisburg. I don't even know what this like smaller section is referred to as, but what's very intriguing about this area is it's about the most diverse demographic I've ever seen. So you'll be driving through a section that you would swear is the lowest income possible, and then come to a street of $500,000 homes, and then right around the corner is a trailer park. It is the strangest area, but it's got some really cool character and class to it. I'm trying to find this cool old train that I drove by on my way to get the shot from where I was a minute ago. And you'll also notice that my sunglasses are gone, and that's because while I was filming, I put them on the roof and they fell off and I just ran over them. So I'm gonna have to try to find sunglasses today too, because I hate driving without sunglasses. Isn't that train just like the coolest thing ever? I mean, I just wonder how old it is. Back in the Philadelphia area again now. I am, oh gosh, I love this spot right here. Check this out. Just such a cool spot in the city. I had to make a lot of phone calls, so that's why you're just hearing from me again now. Oh gosh, so many cool sights. Boathouse Row over here. If you've never seen Boathouse Row Art Museum. And that's not a view you often get. I mean, everybody always talks about New York City, New York City, New York City. I absolutely love the city of Philadelphia. It is just such a cool, diverse, and amazing place. So the whole journey took me 4 hours of driving. 4 hours in the car. An hour at lunch. Was it worth it? 100%. Justin, if you're watching this, had a great time today at lunch. But now I'm back. I hope you all found it interesting. I hope you enjoyed your time with me as we went out on a weird adventure to Harrisburg, but not to Harrisburg. Rest in peace, my sunglasses. And otherwise, y'all, have a great day. Take care.